Peace and joy, guys. Welcome back to another video, Drumheller Farms. Today, we're gonna be working on fly control. That's right in the middle of winter, and we're talking flies today here on Drumheller Farms. Hit that subscribe button, stick around for a while. Let's go. Now, it seems like an awkward time to be talking about fly pressure on the farm, but you know, when you're not doing pour-ons on your cattle, there's never a better time than to prepare for the flies and in the winter. We're laying a ton of manure down on this land this winter, feeding hay, and that just gets me thinking that it's gonna attract the flies. And I have had these birdhouses that I had a guy make for me now for probably about, I don't know, a few months. Local guy here bought a wood stove from me and he makes them, and we did a little bit of a barter deal. This is about, hell, half of them maybe. We got a pretty good design here with these. These are bluebird houses is what they're supposed to be. Now, bluebirds eat a ton of flies. They say up to a couple thousand a day. So if you can get a nice flock, herd, I don't know what do they consider that, flock of birds on your farm, then you are in good shape for fly control. We do have a lot of birds that follow around our cattle. It's kind of funny. They move right along with our herd, and you come out here during the day sometimes and there is hundreds of birds out here. Well, I want to encourage them to stick around the farm as much as they can, and that's why we got these bird houses here on the farm. So this guy has a pretty good design the way he makes them. He uses a boy, that's tighter than Toby there, buddy. He uses a golf tee to close it, and you can get inside here and clean the nesting out every year. And so that's what you're supposed to do with these things. It's not just a one and done. You're not just able to put them up and be done with it. There is a little bit of maintenance involved, but I think it's going to be well worth it. I'm going to go ahead and screw them right to these wooden posts, and we will be moving these cattle today. If you remember, like I said, in the winter time we feed hay and we let the large herd of cattle follow the weaning calves, and because the calves don't put much impact on the ground, we follow the large herd behind them. So these guys are going to be moving over to the next field, and these guys are going to be coming into their place. Now, in the summertime, we move cattle every 12 hours. And like I said in the last video, you know, we look at grazing 365 days a year. To us, it's very important feeding this hay down on the soil. And you can see leftover hay and a ton of manure out here, and that's going to be very beneficial come next year. I hear about some people in the cattle business talk about sacrifice lots, and yeah, that always kind of makes me laugh, because you know, there's really no such thing as a sacrifice lot when you're keeping your cattle moving and letting them graze the hay as though they were grazing grass. So I hope this is going to be a fun video for us today. Let's go ahead and start mounting some of these things. All right, well, this post here looks like a pretty good place to mount our first bird house. So the guy that built these, he did pre-drill one hole right there, and honestly he probably should have done two, because it's not going to be very sturdy with only one hole in it. or one screw in it. I am gonna mount them as high as I can, just less chance of the cows ever rubbing on them. Make sure it's level. You know, the birds like to be in a level house. Well, I will tell you this much. If a cow does rub on it, not sure it's gonna last very long. So another way I could mount it, I guess, would be on the back side and screw this way, and they would have a little more support. I think I might try it both ways and just see what happens. So I had this guy make me a couple hundred of these things, and my plan is just to put them all around the 160 acres that we have here and just see if it doesn't encourage a few more birds on the farm. Now, I do like this mounting a lot better than that first one I put up. It's just a lot sturdier. I do think I'm gonna change that first one I did and flip it around like this. It just seems to make a lot more sense. Oh yeah, that's a lot more sturdier. Sturdy-gurdy here. Now you will notice that a few of these are made out of treated lumber, and I don't know, some people might have something to say about that. And when the guy was building them, lumber prices went up so crazy. And it's crazy as it sounds, it cost more money to build it out of untreated wood than actually using the womanized lumber. So we talked about building them out of cedar because that's what he's done in the past. But my goodness, the cedar prices were just absolutely insane. I mean, I'd have had so much money in birdhouses, I don't know how much sense it would have made. So I thought about it for a couple days, and I realized that every year I've got two different birds that build nests underneath my treated deck. And then I thought, you know, I'm out there barefoot, my kids are out there barefoot on our treated deck, the birds are living in there. I don't think that's a big deal. So we just decided from that point on, make them all out of treated lumber. And you know, some people might have something to say about the chemicals for the birds, but you know, here's a treated fence post. I see birds on them all the time. I'm gonna go ahead and change this guy around. Lots gooder that way. Now guys, these I'm hoping are gonna be a valuable asset to our farm. One bluebird can eat over 2,000 insects in one day, and I'm hoping most of them are gonna be flies. We do offer garlic in our minerals for our cattle, and I remember the first time I went somewhere and asked if they had any minerals with garlic in it. And the guy looked at me like I was crazy. He said, "What would you want garlic for?" I said, "Well, it's kind of a natural deterrent for flies." He said, "Well, that's why we got that stuff over there. You know, it's got something in it that, you know, kills the fly larva." I said, "Oh yeah? What else is it killing?" He said, "Oh no, it's okay for the cattle. It passes through the animal and it's in their manure patty, and when the flies try to lay their eggs in there, it kills the eggs." And I looked at the guy and I said, "That's exactly what I do not want. Because if it's killing the fly larva, I'm sure it's killing something else down in my soil." The last thing we're gonna do is spend our time building soil on our land and then put something on it that will kill insects. That doesn't seem right to me. So hoping that by installing a couple hundred of these things, if we can add a couple hundred more plus birds to our land, it's gonna do nothing but help our fly control. Another one down, let's go. Now to me, this looks like a perfect location to have a birdhouse. Hopefully these trees will grow up in the next couple of years. It'll be a nice shaded spot for them. This is actually our lease farm, and this is where a large portion of our grazing is over here on this lease farm. I did talk to the landowner earlier this year when I had these made and asked if he was okay if we installed some birdhouses around his place, and he, I think, said, "Boy, I'd love to have more bluebirds on my land." So, sounds like a win-win to me. That one's got a cool location, kind of tucked over here on this side. And as we go past the pond here, it'll be a good time to show you that we do fence out all of our ponds. So we don't really believe in allowing cattle to get inside the ponds, because they will, and they'll tear them up. That one's up there a ways. Should still be able to get to it to clean it out next spring though. Well, these guys think I'm out here to feed them, which I am. But first we're gonna move fields. Okay, kids? So I'm gonna go grab a bale and see if I can't coerce them over to the other side of the field. And coincidentally, we stopped exactly where we started. So we put up about 50 of these birdhouses out on this side of the property. We still have more to put over here and more to put over on the home farm, but it's a nice little start. We'll probably pick this back up another day in another video, but for now, we're done doing the birdhouses. All right, well, ideally, these guys will follow the buggy and just lead them right over to the next field. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come get your supper, kids. Hey, some right there. Here. gate there, and they're acting like they don't want to come across it. Nope, the gate's gone. There you go. Perfect. Now the problem's going to be that guy that's way back there. If he gets stuck on the other side of the fence and he's hollering, well, you shouldn't have been back there screwing around, buddy. Let's go. This one here kicking around, hopefully he doesn't go down that way and he sees the opening here. Awesome, he did. He's excited. That's Jordan, numbers 2-3. All right, let me get this, I gotta get this gate closed behind them. This is going to be just temporary until I go get the gates. All right, that is pretty makeshift here, but the only spot I'm really worried about is right here. Being as though they're in a new paddock, hopefully they have enough to kind of keep them occupied. And got a set of springs over here for the larger herd. Perfect. Yeah, they're going that other way. They're gonna find probably some green grass to nibble on. And I'm gonna go feed this bale out to the large herd, and I'll take those gates, put them down on this side. I got another set of springs over here for the mothers. You're absolutely kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Really? What are you doing over here, man? Huh? What are you doing over here? God darn you. Oh. This sucks. Sucks bad. Well, I didn't take the video camera, and boy, I wish like heck I would have. But that's number 14 that was stuck on the other side. And boy, you talk about some cattle skills right there. I gotta give myself a little bit of a horn toot. I put up this temporary laneway all the way back to her, and if any of you have ever moved cattle before, separating one cattle away from a herd, because she was right on that fence line with them other cattle down there, and it wasn't easy. And the grace from my heavenly Father is the one that helped me get her back in there. I can tell you that much right now. But I'm going to set this fence back up. And man, I'm excited I got that. Honestly, I was a little worried about that. These mothers will be a piece of cake. They won't have any problem crossing over here. I'm going to take these gates down to use over there for the calves. And I'm not going to get too technical crossing these guys, because I know they're going to cross pretty easy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Ooh, nice. A new birdhouse. Boy, that's a nice one too. We'll go behind them here and push them. Nice. The last couple fertilizers out here on the field. Perfect. Ooh, man, they crossed nice. Awesome. All right, guys, well, I'm about out of daylight, and this is where I'm going to end the video. We got some birdhouses hung for future fly control, natural fly control, and we got the cows and the calves moved over one field. I got to set up gates. I got water to do. I still got 2 bales to roll out. I got all kinds of stuff yet to do, but I'm running out of daylight here, as you can see. I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you do have any questions about that natural fly control, or if you have any comments, go ahead and pop them down in the comment section and hit that subscribe button while you're at it. God bless. Thanks for watching.